Nobody saw this coming. More than 23,000 people packed into Arthur Ashe Stadium, the biggest tennis arena on the planet, and every single one witnessed a moment they will not forget. Alex Eala, the 21-year-old from the Philippines, just did what most people thought was impossible. She beat Eva Jovic, and not in some quiet, forgettable way. She defeated her right here, right now, on the grandest stage tennis has to offer. Let that sink in for a second. Because before tonight, Eala had already lost to Jovic twice this year. 2 matches, 2 straight-set defeats, 0 wins. Yet somehow, when the pressure was at its absolute peak, 23,000 screaming fans, Arthur Ashe Stadium, US Open Fan Week, this was a moment she chose to flip the script. So, how did we get here? Let's go back to the beginning. The Stars of the Open, presented by Chase, has become one of the most electric events on the tennis calendar. Now in its 4th consecutive year, this exhibition brings together some of the brightest young talent in the sport and puts them inside the largest tennis stadium in the world. And this year's lineup was absolutely stacked. You had João Fonseca, the 19-year-old Brazilian who became the youngest Brazilian ATP champion in the Open era, Lerna Tien, the 20-year-old American who climbed all the way to a career-high ranking of number 18, Amanda Anisimova, Alex Michelsen, Marta Kostyuk, Arthur Fils, names that make any tennis fan sit up and pay attention. Tickets started at just $30, with a portion of every sale going directly to the USTA Foundation, the charitable arm of the USTA, which supports the National Junior Tennis and Learning Network. Over 270 organizations nationwide, with more than 233,000 young people gaining access to tennis, academic support, and mentorship in underserved communities. So yes, this event means something far beyond the scoreboard. But let's be real. As incredible as that entire lineup was, there was one matchup that had the tennis world buzzing from the moment it was announced: Eala versus Jovic. These two go way back. Their story began at the 2022 US Open, when a teenage Eala won the girls' singles title, and then teamed up with Maya Rose to defeat Jovic and Shannon Lamb in the opening round of the girls' doubles event. Jovic later laughed about the experience, saying they had been absolutely demolished, but in the same breath, she called Eala one of the nicest people she had ever met. That's the thing about these two. From the very first time they crossed paths, there was genuine warmth between them. They traveled the world on tour together, explored new cities on their days off, and shared dinners with other players. Their friendship is real, deep, and authentic. Yet the moment they step between the lines, all of that disappears. Jovic proved that twice in 2026. First came the French Open in May. Jovic, seeded number 17 at Roland Garros, stepped onto the clay and dismantled Eala 6-4, 6-2. It was clinical, controlled, and almost surgical in the way she picked apart the Filipino's game. Eala was gracious afterward, describing the loss as a learning experience and openly praising Jovic, but you could tell it stung. Then came Queen's Club in June. Grass this time, a completely different surface, but the same result. Jovic won again, 6-2, 6-2, in just 76 minutes. She was nearly flawless that day, posting a forehand quality rating of 9.5 out of 10 compared with a tour average of 6.5. She missed only 6 forehands throughout the entire match. She won 81% of her first serve points. It was the kind of dominant performance that makes you wonder whether an opponent can ever find a way through. That victory ended Eala's 5-match winning streak on grass. And just like that, the head-to-head record stood at 0-2. Jovic was classy about it. As always, she said she hoped they would eventually meet in finals rather than early rounds because she wanted both of their rankings to rise high enough for them to end up on opposite sides of the draw. She even admitted that playing doubles with Eala was more fun than playing against her. After Queen's Club, Jovic posted a photo on Instagram with a caption, "One of those days I wish there could be 2 winners." Eala replied, "No one I'd rather share the court with. Love you, girl." That's who these two are. And that is what made Arthur Ashe Stadium feel like a powder keg on this particular night. Because Eala wasn't just walking into this match as a friend who had been beaten twice. She was walking in as a fighter who had studied those 2 losses, spent months processing them, breaking them down, and figuring out exactly what needed to change. She had already beaten Olympic champions and Grand Slam champions. She had defeated a world number 3 in a major final. She knew how to rise to the biggest moments. The 0-2 record wasn't a weight around her neck. It was gasoline. When Eala stepped onto the Arthur Ashe Stadium court, the crowd detonated. Filipino fans waved Philippine flags as thousands of voices filled every corner of the iconic venue. The atmosphere was everything you'd expect from the biggest tennis stadium in the world: loud, electric, and completely alive. And from the very first point, something was unmistakably different. Eala attacked. She took control of the rallies early, moved Jovic relentlessly around the court, and refused to give a comfortable position from which to set up her ground strokes. The precision and aggression that had defined Jovic performances in their first two meetings were neutralized by Eala. She dictated the pace, changed angles, and pushed the American into unfamiliar territory. Jovic, who had looked almost unbeatable just months earlier, started making uncharacteristic errors, the kind that suggested the Filipina had figured something out. Eala's movement was razor-sharp. Her shot selection was calculated, and her confidence was visibly building with every exchange. For the first time in this rivalry, the momentum belonged entirely to Alex Eala. The first set became a statement. The second followed the same path. And when the final point landed, when the scoreboard locked in the result, Arthur Ashe Stadium absolutely exploded. Filipino flags waved through the stands, deafening chants filled the arena, and pure, raw, unfiltered joy took over. Alex Eala had done it. She had beaten Eva Jovic. Now, here's a question the entire tennis world is asking right now. What does this actually mean heading into the US Open? Honestly, the answer is more significant than the exhibition result alone suggests. Yes, no ranking points were at stake. No prize money was on the line, and there was no official impact on the WTA record books. This was an exhibition. Everyone knows that. But sport is not only about the scoreboard. It's about belief. It's about momentum. It's about what happens inside a player's mind when the pressure arrives. And what happened inside Alex Eala tonight was a breakthrough. She snapped a losing streak that had stretched across 2 continents, clay in Paris and grass in London, against one of the most promising young players on the women's tour. She proved to herself, to Jovic, and to 23,000 witnesses inside the biggest tennis stadium on earth that she had finally solved the puzzle. At the French Open in May, Jovic won 6-4, 6-2. At Queen's Club in June, she won 6-2, 6-2. 2 dominant performances, 2 straight-set victories, and a head-to-head record that looked completely one-sided tonight. Eala erased all of that, not in a quiet corner of the drawer, not in some low-stakes warm-up event, but here, under the brightest lights, in front of the loudest crowd, on the most famous tennis stage in the world. And the US Open main draw hasn't even started yet.